Arkansas, an outdoor paradise. People travel hundreds of miles to enjoy what, well, some of us take for granted. We aren't called the natural state without reason. With an abundance of rivers, lakes, and streams loaded with adventure. Scenic views that will take your breath away. Biking trails and back roads just begging to be discovered. Sit back and relax as Ray Tucker and longtime journalist Brian Hendricks explore our magnificent state with this week's edition of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Brian, are you going to explore this in this weather?
I tell you what, Ray, I've been doing most of my exploring at night. When it's a little cooler and the fish bite a little better. I had a kind of a bust of a fishing trip up to the Little Red a couple of days ago. Get up there thinking I'm going to get in that cool water and, enjoy all that. Mm-hmm. And they're blasting the generators, so I just had to sit there and watch it go by. But the fish were there, Bill. We got with us tonight a couple of special guests. Bill Jones, Arkansas Game and Fish Commissioner, also owner of Sissy's Log Cabin. He's got a lot of things going on, a big project going on Bayou Bartholomew down in the Pine Bluff area. We also have Blake Sassy of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary, and Blake is also a longtime friend of us. He is the bat biologist for the Game and Fish Commission, but we're not going to be talking bats tonight. We're talking boating safety as the Labor Day weekend approaches.
I thought you were going to say Ray knows a lot of old bats.
I don't know anything about that, Ray. So anyway, we're visiting with Bill Jones a couple of weeks ago I guess it was a Saturday. I went down to went to church with you in Pine Bluff, and you unveiled the blueprints of a big project you've got going on to develop and add Bayou Bartholomew. It's a hard word for me to say to the Arkansas Water Trail, I guess. And so I'm gonna just let you take it from there and tell us, what the vision is there.
Well, I'm so glad you came too, and we had a great time. It was on the lakeside, but basically what's happening is we have a 363-mile part of Bayou Bartholomew, starting there in Whitehall, ending in Sterling, Louisiana. And so we're taking a 4.5-mile area of it, starting right there at Old Warren Road, putting a landing in there, which will be the Saracen Bayou landing, and then it'll go all the way through. We're going to have a bike trail / floating down the whole thing. There'll be a bike park on halfway down it where people can peel off on their bikes, go over all these ramps, do all these fun things, and then people can come back on the bayou. And then there'll be places for them to pull over and be in a park. There's going to be maybe a future nature area that we're going to have. One idea is, more people have been baptized on Bayou Bartholomew than any body of water in Arkansas. And we're thinking about doing like kind of a baptismal area and doing kind of an open outdoor theater or chapel that people in the churches can use. So the Game and Fish is putting in a beautiful ramp there on Hazel Street. It'll be the first ever canoe kayak handicap ramp where you can go out there, it'll lock in. I told Ford Trotter yesterday that he and I'll probably use that because we can lock our canoe in, get all our stuff in, and then it eases you down in the water so you don't have to worry about the balance.
Oh, one of those things where they put you on straps and lower you down?
Yeah, it actually locks in. It's all aluminum.
I'll be darned.
Really, really cool. It's the first one ever in the state of Arkansas. So it'll be right there at Hazel Street.
I started in TV 1974, KTV in Pine Bluff. I've run all the traps down through there and whatever. I never knew Bayou Bartholomew ran all the way down to Louisiana.
Yeah.
All the way down to Louisiana.
A lot of people don't know, too, it's the second most biodiverse ecosystem in the United States. And the reason it is because of its length. It's tremendous that, of all the fishes, the bird life, bird watchers. I mean, the whole thing is just such a buzz because of you'll be able to float it, you'll be able to bike it, you'll be able to walk it, hike it, fish it. We've put over 20,000 fish into it in the last 2 to 3 months. So once we get it open here in about a year, fishing will be fantastic. So you can come down, we can get in a canoe, we can float down, do a little crappie fishing, a little bass fishing in a beautiful area. And the cool thing about this, like the buffalo, it's open and full sunshine. This is kind of the buffalo of the Delta because it's full canopy. In this area that we're going, only 4.5 miles, you go from beautiful bottomland hardwood to marsh. And you get to see a completely new look of Arkansas that you've never seen before. we were floating it the other day, and we had beavers and otters that were floating with us. They're just following right along.
Now, did you? Are you the brainchild behind this, or did it start before you got on the commission?
Well, I think it started about 20,000 years ago. So, but no, it's something that I had a fort on it back when I was a kid. So we floated it. We fished on it. We had a great time. As a matter of fact, on part of the trail, it'll say Bill's Fort there. But a lot of people have tried to bring it back. Bartholomew Alliance, they did about 30, 35 years ago, and one of the people that was really with that alliance was Ted Nugent. I don't know if you knew that or not. He actually came down to Pine Bluff, and he loved the project because of how biodiverse it was, and it just didn't get off the ground. It didn't succeed. But now we've got the city, the county, and the sheriff's department behind it, and they've all signed MOUs. So that's our three-legged stool.
What has happened culturally, politically, every other way to allow this to proceed forward now where it didn't work before?
Well, when I got on the Game and Fish Commission, this was kind of one of my projects that I really wanted to see happen because it's such a beautiful place in Arkansas, and nobody can actually float it. There was so many logs across it. There was areas that it was completely jammed up, and there was just no way to float it at all. So I thought, what better time and effort to put into something than that. So Sherry and I started buying land along the edge of it, and there was most of it was Alliance land, and some of it was RDOT land, which is all public, which is great. But there were some parcels there, so we ended up acquiring those that we're donating back to the Game and Fish, and I just thought it'd be a fabulous project because I grew up there. It was a fabulous fantasy land that we had, and I think with the Game and Fish's help, and the county and the city and the sheriff's department. That's what's so great about it. They're all hiring individual people to maintain it every single day. And that's the key thing. You can build something like this, Brian, but what happens is logs fall, trees fall, the bank falls in. It takes constant maintenance to make this happen. And because of the city, the county, and the sheriff's department is going to patrol it every day, at least twice a day. The county will clear out additional logs that are falling there after we've already done the whole project. Because when we leave it with them, we're going to have 3 landings that are beautifully built. We're going to have 4.5 miles of bank fishing, and they'll keep it up.
When you talk about the biodiversity of it, it goes from bottomland hardwood to marsh and everything. How much of that occurs within Jefferson County, and how much of that will people be able to experience just in the recreational corridor that you're talking about? The
corridor we're talking about is 4.5 miles, and it occurs halfway down the 2.5 miles into it. And it's amazing because you go from these beautiful hardwoods to all of a sudden you're in cattail reeds and ducks getting off the water anywhere you can imagine. Saracen is a big advocate of this too, and one of our jokes with Saracen is, anytime you're floating that bayou, you're only 20 minutes from a blackjack game.
So what is the widest part of Bartholomew?
Well, once it gets down to McGee in that area, it probably gets similar to the Saline River. But where we are, it's probably 15 to 20 yards wide, with nice banks on it and beautiful, beautiful timber. And that's the beauty of it, is when you're floating the entire time, you're in shade. That's the thing, because you could even float it. I was there this morning. We were working on one part of it, what we call the Parker turkey chute. And if anybody around Pine Bluff is my age, they'll know what turkey chute was. That's where we went as kids and rode our bikes up and down these hills, because they had just dredged the bayou then, so it created all these mounds of dirt, and that's where we all hung out all the time.
You talked about that in church, how huge those mounds seem to you as kids, and then you go back to them, and they're just, not quite that.
That's my buddy Ford Trotter and I, when I bought that 40 acres, he said, man, we got to go find turkey chute. And we did, and back when I was a kid, they were 30, 40, 50 feet high. We were scared to death to go down, and they were so big, and we got there, and they were like 8 feet high.
So, are they just not as big as you remembered them?
I think it's just a kid's memory versus an adult's memory.
All right, well, we're going to take a break here. We're having a fascinating discussion about Bayou Bartholomew with Bill Jones, and we'll be right back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Every Everybody knows the Brad Hendricks Law Firm is famous for car wrecks, big truck crashes, and medical negligence cases. But they do a lot more than that. They help good people who can benefit from bankruptcy. And they also help older folks who had their Social Security claims denied. When you need a lawyer, call the firm that is pure Arkansas, where you won't ever be just a number. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
While the government just keeps releasing old grainy UFO videos, the evidence at Gwatney Buick GMC is undeniable.
This is Penny Cobb Burkhalter. The deals just landed, and they're the biggest we've disclosed all year.
At Gwatney, UFO stands for Unbelievable Finance Offers, and it's Deal Disclosure Days in August. Get 2026 GMC Sierra at just 2.9 for 72 months, while the Buick Encore GX, Envista, and Enclave are all available at 1.9.
The 26 Buick Envision is like a family spaceship on wheels. And right now, 0% for 5 years.
It's Gwatney Buick GMC's UFO sale. The truth is out there, and it's parked next to Sam's in North Little Rock.
Get no payments until next year. 501-945-4444.
See dealer for details. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. Ale Garcia got a call from her brother while they were watching the crowd celebrate another victory from Mexico in the World Cup. He had seen her dog, who had been missing for over a month. The dog was on TV celebrating along with the jubilant crowd. Now safe and sound back home, he had a new green El Tri jersey to wear. Viva la Mexico! Dogs just want to have fun, to paraphrase Cyndi Lauper. LaGorda certainly does. I want to party with you, cowboy. He would love accompanying his person to Doublebee's because while he waits in the car, she could bring him some Chester's chicken, or maybe some Big Rock pizza, or a cold drink, or even some ice cream. Perfect for beating the summer heat. Doublebee's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Doublebee's.
We're keeping Arkansas beautiful. Want to lend a hand? Don't be afraid to get them dirty. Every day, volunteers around the state are picking up litter, planting trees and wildflowers, recycling, and more. You know what these volunteers need most? Help. Volunteer today at KeepArkansasBeautiful.com. Learn more about all our programs. A message brought to you by the Keep Arkansas Beautiful Commission, this station, and the Arkansas Broadcasters Association.
You saved for retirement, but saving and spending your money are two different jobs. Join Gen Wealth Financial Advisors for Retire on Purpose, a free workshop in Stuttgart. I'm Scott Inman. Join me for the 4 risks every retirement plan has to solve. Tuesday, August 25th at 6:30 at the Grand Prairie Event Center. Dinner's on us. Reserve your seat at 866-653-PLAN. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
We all plan to be on time, but fender benders, damaged windshields, and slick roads quickly disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design personal protection plans that work for you and help keep you on track. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agents Brian Kress, Monica Reiners, or Agent Taylor Patterson in North Little Rock today.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We got Labor Day coming up, Ray. And, that's a time when a lot of people are out on the water in boats. A lot of people are out on the water in boats enjoying adult beverages, and there's a lot of things to say about that. There's a lot of people on boats that are enjoying adult beverages without wearing personal flotation devices, all kinds of stuff like that. And we have with us Blake Sassy with the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary. And Blake, you wear a lot of hats. You're also a biologist with the Game and Fish Commission, but you're involved with this too. And tell us, kind of lead us into Labor Day and boating and what's going to be going on out there and what can people do to make sure that that's a holiday to remember for all the right reasons.
Well, we're looking at the activity that's going to be going on the Arkansas River and the Little Rock Pool, especially since the boat ramp under the I-30 bridge has opened up again after being closed for a couple of years. And with the pretty decent flows, if it continues the way it is now, there might be a lot of boats out there. So we're actually setting up a little event on the Saturday of Labor Day weekend, the 5th, out there at that boat ramp to get the word out to boaters. We can do some checks on their boats to make sure they have all the required equipment, and just talk to them and give them a heads up about what's out there. Because boating on the river, if you're not experienced with it, can be a bit of a challenge. There's some unique parts to that.
Brian did a story in the paper yesterday, and he'd been up on Little Red River fishing. And one of the pictures that was in the paper, you got three good-sized guys, and I don't know, 14, 16-foot flat bottom boat?
16-foot boat.
And I think both generators will go in the river stripe, and not one of them had a flotation device on.
Yeah, it's unfortunately pretty common for people not to wear it. Of course, kids of a certain age have to wear it, but the adults, they have to be in the boat with them, but the life jacket doesn't necessarily have to be on. And you never know when you're going to hit that log in the river, hit that rock, or just tip the boat the wrong way and you're out of it. And if you don't have that life jacket on, then it ain't going to do you any good.
If you go into the Little Red River and water's 50 degrees year round, you will don't struggle.
Yeah. If you're far from the bank, you're going to have issues. And it's of course important later in the winter too, as we get into duck season. Even more importantly, for that cold water time of the year, for people to have that life jacket on them at the time they're moving.
So what are the guidelines for wearing a flotation device?
Well, basically, adults don't have to. They have to have one that's readily available, which generally kind of means it's on the boat and you can get to it without too much trouble. You do have to have one of those throwable, square cushion type flotation devices that's immediately available. It has to be where you can grab it right away. But beyond that, it's pretty much up to the adult to take care of themselves.
I know we're talking about the Arkansas River primarily, but like on that cold water, on the Little Red, the White, and all that, when you enter water that cold, there's a gasp reflex that occurs, and if you go under, that's the first thing that happens is you gasp in that water, and suddenly your lungs are full up, and you've got a real bad situation real quick.
Right, and that's why having that life jacket on right then is going to save you, because you're not going to be thinking of that at the time. You're going to be thinking of drowning, and it's too late to try to find one in the river with you at that point.
All right, we're talking about droughts across the United States. Arkansas is in one. So what's the situation with the Arkansas River right now?
It's moving pretty slowly. I mean, there was some high flows up until about a month or so ago, but there's not much current in it at the moment. And that makes it a little bit safer in that there's not as much debris floating around that you might run into. But also, it's going to be lower water levels near the shore where you might be fishing. So some rocks might be a little bit more dangerous where you could run into them at that point.
Safety tips for the Arkansas River.
Well, if you're up on a plane and moving fast, you should really be in the channel between the marker buoys on either side of the channel. A lot of folks will run fast outside of the channel, and sometimes you can get away with that, but that river changes every day, and there might be a tree just underneath the water that you didn't see that is there now that wasn't there last week.
Yeah, and the other part of that is like when you get up on Dardanelle around Spadra and Cabin Creek and all that, and you got that vast expanse of water. Well, that's what you see is just a big, wide thing of water. And once you leave that channel, it is knee deep or less. I mean, it's just like that. It's the most amazing thing. And if you're not used to that, a lower unit's coming off, and if that happens, somebody may go flying out the front of the boat. I mean, all kinds of things.
Yeah, and when you're at really high flow rates, of course, the Corps of Engineers puts out a small craft advisory when the flow's above 75,000 cubic feet per second. And it's really pretty dangerous to be out there then, not only because of the debris that's out there moving fast. Sometimes you can get a situation where the marker buoys themselves are underwater. Mm-hmm. If that water's gone up high enough and the Coast Guard hasn't had a chance to come and readjust them, you could run into one of them, which would really ruin your day. And so checking the water flows using the Corps of Engineers app before you go out would be what I'd recommend to make sure that things are good.
Well, you got to watch yourself out there, and the Arkansas River has got, some unique things about it. Like you say, it gets going fast. The next day it can be next to nothing. But even so, there's things under the water that you don't see. I don't know how many people have just been cruising up the river real slow in a party barge, hit a log, knocked out their prop, and, had to struggle to get back home.
Or, a sandbank might have developed overnight almost that you didn't know was there. And, you'll get stuck on that.
I think when you cross the bridge, 430 bridge, and you do it on a regular basis, we watch the water levels. When it gets low, all of a sudden you see trees appear, islands that appear that if you don't fish it quite often or on it, you don't know it's there. And the next thing you know, you're in trouble.
Yeah, and that can happen on some of the lakes too. I'm up at Greer's Ferry a lot, and when the water level's low, you're seeing rocks in places where you have to be really careful going around those corners, or else you might get a nasty surprise.
All right, well, we're talking boating safety in the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary with Blake Sassy, and we're going to take a little break here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're also going to talk a little bit more about the Bayou Bartholomew project and understand that we may have a special guest to weigh in on that too here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
The Saracen Casino Hotel is now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story hotel features 318 modern guest rooms and suites, offering luxe accommodations paired with the elevated amenities and the Southern hospitality customers have come to expect from Saracen Casino Resort. And while you're at it, don't skip dinner at Red Oak, recognized as Arkansas's best restaurant for 5 years running. Book your stay with Saracen by visiting SaracenResort.com or calling Saracen today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue. Instant fun every day? That's a win. The chance at a life-changing jackpot? Win. Creating scholarships for Arkansas students? That's the biggest win of all. When you play the lottery, it's a win-win-win for Arkansas. So far, the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery has raised over $1.5 billion to fund more than 822,000 scholarships. Keep playing and winning Arkansas. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
This is Trey Johnson with HJ Trailer Sales. Spring is here, and y'all have made us the #1 truck bed dealer in the state. We want to thank you for your support and business. If you're looking for the best customer service from folks that can handle any type of trailer and take care of you after the sale, with hometown service, it's HJ Trailer Sales. Our team will handle all your service and warranty needs. See what great customer service is like at HJ Trailer Sales on Albert Pike in Hot Springs, or check us out on Facebook.
This is Chris Roberts with Southern Bank. If you're looking for a bank that can grow with you, now is the perfect time. Experience the difference our people make for our customers every day. Community presidents like John Holman and Lexus Landers work as true financial partners with their clients and community. Southern Bank is here to help you with all your financial needs. We have state-of-the-art online banking and friendly faces that greet you with a smile. To start your relationship with Southern Bank, visit bankwithsouthern.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Sprained wrist, ankle twist, broken thumb, can't make a fist, busted knee, surgery, that patch of ice you didn't see.
Where pain starts, Jernavix suzetrigine begins. Jernavix is a non-opioid 50 milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain.
Tendon tear, nose repair, tripping on that broken stair, dislocation, operation, moped crash while on vacation.
Do not take Jernavix with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Jernavix may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes.
Joint displacement, knee replacement, fell on marbles in the basement, ladder slip, broken hip, that rock climb where you lost your grip.
To learn more about Jernavix, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit jernavix.com.
Is your yard something you'd like to improve and make better? At Acadie's Touch Landscaping, they bring precision and craftsmanship to every project, from drain work that protects your property to retaining walls, decks, and fencing built to last. They also install synthetic turf and custom flower beds for low maintenance, year-round beauty. One team done right the first time. Call 501-794-2770. That's 501-794-2770.
Welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Time to talk as we normally do at 7:20 every Monday night. Neil Atkinson with Sarah's Casino Resort down in Pine Bluff. Neil, it's heating up, baby.
Away, 12 days away from the first FBS game against North Carolina and TCU, but an in-state team's going to be in action before that. Central Arkansas is going to be playing, I think it's Tennessee Martin next Thursday, which is only 10 days away. So, Central Arkansas will be playing UT Martin next Thursday, so we'll have the first state team in action then. But between now and then, as we get excited for college football, make sure you check out the futures. Got a lot of them on Arkansas. Got a lot of the conference championships that would involve Arkansas State. And we've already got the lines up for most of the first week games, and we'll get Central Arkansas up because it's a FCS game. That could be a little bit closer to game time. But we've got most of the games up, and even some week 2 and week 3 games up also ready for you to take a look at.
Is it too early for you to share some of that with us?
Oh, absolutely not. Matter of fact, if you go to the football page on Bet Saracen, we actually have a special page for Arkansas teams. Now, this is going to be Arkansas Pine Bluff's second game against Missouri. We've got that on the 3rd. And, of course, Missouri is going to be a pretty big, heavily favorite there at 53.5 points. Arkansas's first game against the North Alabama Lions is -41 on the 5th. And Arkansas State is taking on Memphis Tigers. Hey, the game opened up with Memphis favorite at 10. That line has gone down to 8.5, so that tells me that money's coming in on Arkansas State. So we're looking forward to that. And then the big matchup between Utah, Arkansas is an 8.5-point dog in that one. That's a big early season challenge on the road out in Utah, who is actually ranked this year. And that's a big early season test for the new Hogs.
All right, Neil, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for all that good information, and you have a great week.
Good luck, everybody. Make sure you check out the promo page and stay cool out there and stay hydrated out here. So it's really, really hot. And take care, and we'll talk to you next week.
And we are back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're visiting with Blake Sassy of the United States Coast Guard Auxiliary, and a lot of people hear that. What exactly does the auxiliary do?
Well, we're uniformed volunteers that help the Coast Guard with just about everything except law enforcement and pretty direct military operations. We focus primarily on boating safety, teaching boating safety classes, doing boat safety checks, which is one of the things we're going to be doing at our event on Labor Day weekend. But we do everything you can think of. We have people in the auxiliary that are out cooking on Coast Guard cutters. We do help in oil spill responses. It's a slice of just about everything possible of the Coast Guard life. We're there somehow or another. We have chaplains that are helping them out now.
Now, you guys are volunteers, correct?
Yes, sir.
And so how does one get involved?
Well, it's pretty simple. There is, a background check and that sort of thing to make sure, you're good volunteer potential. But we have our meetings once a month at the Coast Guard Auxiliary Station inside the North Little Rock RV Park down by the river, and people are welcome to come and visit with us and see what we do and see if they fit in and decide if it's the right organization for them to be a part of.
One thing that you don't see on the Arkansas hardly ever is, what do you call those tow behind things where the kids get on them, and they go real fast and they throw everybody up in the air and this, that. You don't ever see that out there. Why is that?
Well, I think some people are cautious about going out on the river and doing that sort of activity. I think the commissioner was talking to me about skiing on the river when he was younger, and I've seen occasional people do that. But
I've had my kids on those inner tubes.
Yeah, so I think people are a little bit cautious about it, and that's not a bad take to have because it is a pretty narrow channel. There's not a lot of room for some of that sort of activity where you're just swinging around all over the place because in that sort of narrow area, you have to really keep a good lookout to make sure you're not running into anyone else and that a towboat isn't sneaking up on you.
Glad you mentioned the towboat because they're out there and they look like they're big and slow, and they kind of are, but things come at you fast. out there.
Oh yeah, they sure do. I mean, I've been out there at night. They'll light you up with their spotlight from a fair bit away, but they will get to where you are pretty fast. So it's definitely a good idea to stay out of their way. Occasionally, you'll see some of the sand dredge barges out there that'll have a kind of a buoy out to the side. You need to, keep a good bit away from them as well.
There are those knuckleheads who think they can cut in front of the barge.
Yeah, I definitely don't advise that because, the guy that's driving that barge is hundreds of feet away from that bow, and he cannot see you when you cut in front of him. And if something happens, he's not going to stop. It's going to take a long time for that barge to stop, and you don't want to be underneath it when it happens.
That's precisely the reason why I quit riding as a press observer in the big national bass tournaments. Is two incidents in Alabama, one in Alabama and one in Ohio with towboats, and it's like I'm not doing this anymore. People do some crazy stuff out there when there's money involved, but what are the things that a boater has to have on board the boat when he takes off with passengers aboard?
Well, that's one of the things we actually do is help boaters out with that. We'll go and do a boat safety check with them, either at a boat ramp or we can actually come to people's houses, depending on where they are in the state, and go through all the required equipment to operate on federal and state waters, and also some recommended items. Basically, it's a kind of a voluntary, it's not a law enforcement thing. If you pass, it's great. If you fail, it's not a problem. It gives you a chance to fix it before one of my colleagues wearing a game warden uniform stops you and, you may get in a little bit more trouble.
Makes it an issue. Yeah.
But no, it's having the proper amount of life jackets for everyone on board, having that throwable flotation device I mentioned earlier, having fire extinguishers if those are needed, making sure your documentation is correct, registration, insurance, all that sort of thing. Making sure the boat is in good working order, that it's not going to be an obvious fire hazard of some kind or another. And then there's a lot of kind of recommended items we look at, like a first aid kit, if you have a marine radio or some other way to call for help if something happens, distress signals of one kind or another. And a good thing to really do that isn't required is to actually mount your fire extinguishers on the boat somewhere. Because if that fire extinguisher is rolling around in the bottom of a compartment and your engine catches on fire, you're going to have a hard time getting to it in time to do anything about it. So having it mounted where you can grab it real fast is a great idea.
All right, let's talk about boating and alcohol.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't mix. I would treat it just like driving a car. If you're driving that boat, you shouldn't be drinking anything that day is what you should be looking at.
But you can get a DUI,
BUI.
Yeah, boating. Yeah, you sure can. It's treated pretty much the same way, and you should avoid it just the same. Appoint that designated driver for the boat. And it actually wouldn't hurt. It's a good idea to always have a lookout that's doing whose only kind of job, so to speak, on the boat is making sure that nothing else is happening that the driver doesn't see. Maybe if that one isn't drinking, that would also improve their performance a lot too. So,
how about things like air horns, whistles, that sort of thing?
Yeah, you have to have some sort of sound producing device that's pretty loose on what counts for that. It could be a horn that you can blow. It could just be a whistle. But you need to be able to make some sort of warning sound if you're having trouble or if just to alert people to what your action may be.
Well, Blake Sassy, appreciate your input as to what people need to do to boat safely during the Labor Day weekend and any other time. Hopefully, when people get out there, they all get home safely. Their boats are in good condition. Nobody's hurt or worse.
Yeah, and come see us out at the I-30 boat ramp at between 9 and 3 on Saturday the 5th, and we can check your boat for you. There'll be some free snacks and water for everyone as well, and some boating safety information.
All right, we got one more minute. Can you tell us how to get involved with the Coast Guard?
Yeah, just Google Coast Guard Auxiliary Little Rock, and that'll take you to our webpage, and it'll have a whole big, long list of the types of activities that we do. And like I said earlier, just come and visit with us, and actually come down to the boat ramp on the 5th and talk to us. We'll be there. We'll be happy to discuss it with you.
I've also heard that for all that's said about the toughness of the U.S. Marine Corps, that the Coast Guard is the toughest branch of service to serve in.
Well, I don't want to start any fights about that. I'd say they all have their skills and abilities.
Yeah. Well, Blake, thank you for joining us, and feel free to come back anytime and visit with us. And always look forward to seeing you wherever we run into each other. It seems like in the strangest places sometimes.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, when we come back, we'll continue our visit with Bill Jones, and rock legend Ted Nugent will join us by phone.
All right, so we're gonna. There's a shared interest. People wondering why. There's a shared interest in this, and Ted Nugent has been involved in it a long time ago. So we're going to get his perspective, and look forward to visiting with him. And back with Bill Jones with Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. And what is the name of this group that you're heading up here?
It's a Bartholomew Watershed Project.
All right. Well, it's a great project, and we look forward to seeing it come to fruition. Going to take a break here with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we will be right back.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. You've heard me say before that Double B's has the latest technology so that you can quickly and securely pay at the pump on your fill-ups. Recently on a road trip, I witnessed how important this is, as I kept trying over and over and over to do this at a national chain out of state. Their equipment was junk, and finally I had to go inside and prepay. Ridiculous. Double B's is miles ahead of such places because we put our best foot forward for you, for Arkansas. We don't have obsolete, failed technology. Not only does Double B's have safe, secure, and modern pumps, we have a dazzling array of delectables and sundries inside for all your road tripping confrères. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
While the government just keeps releasing old grainy UFO videos, the evidence at Gwatney Buick GMC is undeniable.
This is Penny Cobb Burkhalter. The deals just landed, and they're the biggest we've disclosed all year.
At Gwatney, UFO stands for Unbelievable Finance Offers, and it's Deal Disclosure Days in August. Get 2026 GMC Sierra at just 2.9 for 72 months, while the Buick Encore GX, Envista, and Enclave are all available at 1.9.
The 26 Buick Envision is like a family spaceship on wheels. And right now, 0% for 5 years.
It's Gwatney Buick GMC's UFO sale. The truth is out there, and it's parked next to Sam's in North Little Rock.
Get no payments until next year. 501-945.
For details, 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. WatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit.
Hello, this is Justin Acree. When joint pain or an injury slows you down, turn to UAMS Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Arkansas's largest orthopedic team and the state's most fellowship-trained surgeons offer expert care for sports injuries and problems affecting the hip, knee, shoulder, spine, hand, foot, ankle, and more. Care is easy to access at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital and the new location on Rodney Parham in Little Rock, next to UAMS Health Urology Center. For walk-in care, choose UAMS Ortho now. Call 501-686-TOSH. When you think ortho, think UAMS.
Shipments of spring and summer fashions are arriving at Bell & Sword. That means swimwear from Saks, Peter Noir golf wear and shirts, Johnny O's store within a store. Be sure to check out the Faraday line and Martin Dingman shoes and leather goods. So hurry in for a great value on quality men's clothing at Bell & Sword for your spring and summer items, and you'll look fantastic. Bell & Sword, 1011 Oak Street in downtown Conway on Facebook and Instagram.
Ready for a getaway? Donate blood with Our Blood Institute on Tuesday, August 18th at their mobile blood drives in Newport, Arkadelphia, or Malvern. Every donor will be entered for a chance to win an Arkansas getaway valued at $2,000, plus a $500 prize pack. You'll also receive a limited edition t-shirt and a theme park ticket of your choice. Save lives, and you could be on your way to your next adventure. Find the drive that's convenient for you at obi.org/events.
At Our Care, we're more than clinics. We're neighbors caring for neighbors. From checkups and stitches to ongoing health concerns and behavioral health support, our doctors, nurses, and therapists are here for every stage of life. Medications are simple, with local and home delivery pharmacy options. No insurance? We can help, and no one is ever turned away. With more than 100 locations across the Mid-South, affordable care is always nearby. Find a clinic close to you at ourcare.net.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're visiting with Bill Jones of the Bio-Bartholomew Watershed Coalition and also a member of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission. And you mentioned a while back that this kind of got off to a false start about 35, 40 years ago, just didn't work out. And one of the people who was involved with that was a musician that we all know in these parts. He used to appear here at Barton Coliseum quite a bit, Ted Nugent, the Motor City Madman. Well, we've got him on the phone right now to kind of close the loop on this a little bit. Ted Nugent, are you with us?
I am with you. Greetings and have a happy almost fall to everybody in the great state of Arkansas.
Remember you very well coming onto the stage at Barton Coliseum in a leopard print thing on a swinging vine and hitting the stage and getting it going. So how are you doing?
You know, I'm having the best music of my life. I'm still surrounded by just unbelievably gung-ho, dedicated virtuosos and working hard, playing hard musicians that still love American soul music and fire-breathing rock and roll. Plus, I might mention I've got the best hunting dogs in the world ready for the best hunting season of my life. So I think it's conclusive that God really, really loves my American dream.
Well, hey, before we get on to the subject matter here, next time you see Mark Farner, tell him that the biggest Grand Funk Railroad fan in the world lives right here in Little Rock, Arkansas. That's me.
Well, I will tell him that. I keep in touch. That's another example of the incredible virtuosos and just great Americans that I hang out with. I literally talked to Mark yesterday. He's still making great music and out there just unleashing the beast. So, yeah, plus he's a conservationist. In fact, he qualifies as a Ted Nugent blood brother because he's a Christian, conservative, constitutional conservationist landowner, private property rights fighter. So I'll tell that message to Mark Farner for you. Everybody who loves great music loves Mark Farner.
That's right. So about 40 years ago, you were involved with an initiative to try to do exactly what's being done right now on Bio-Bartholomew. How did you get involved with that, and where did it start and where did it stop?
Well, I've always had a big mouth. I don't know if you noticed that about me, but I'm what the Founding Fathers wanted all Americans to be. I stand up unapologetic and uncompromising for the things I believe in, that radical stuff like God, family, country, hunting, fishing, Second Amendment, First Amendment, the work ethic, law and order, all that good stuff. So people in the great state of Arkansas heard me standing up for hunting rights and fishing and trapping, real conservation. So when I heard about the Bio-Bartholomew, I knew that that was the kind of concern that the Nugent family always had on our radar, because a variation of that exists all across the world, especially here in the United States and North America overall. So I got involved and I started raising hell and spotlighting the important issues about quality air, soil, and water, and that's what Arkansas conservation families have always stood up for, and I was just proud to be a part of that.
And so what form did that take, your first involvement in that, and what kind of fundraising was done, what kind of organization was done, and where did it just kind of fall off the table?
Well, again, I love Arkansas. I love every place that loves real American rock and roll, which is every place, by the way. And the fact that I was the only guy in the entertainment industry that really stood up and celebrated and promoted hands-on conservation. So they recruited the old guitar player from Detroit to not only raise hell, but to raise money. And so I got involved with various organizations, various groups to raise awareness to this important issue, the upgrade of that environment, a critical environment. And I forget the exact dates and the amounts, but I know that we spotlighted the important issues and raised a lot of money for the conservation cause in Arkansas.
And have you hunted and fished in Arkansas?
I've hunted a little bit. I squirrel hunted in Arkansas, but it seems that when I come to Arkansas, it's always for one of my two favorite things in life. And number one is, well, it's not really number one. Number one is rock and roll during the summer. And then number one is hunting, fishing, and trapping during the fall and winter. So I have a funny feeling that my new best friend, Bill Jones, will find a way to find a tree stand that has an overpopulation of white-tailed deer that I can help remedy sometime this fall.
You can bet that for sure.
Well, down where he lives, you've got not an overpopulation of them, but a very good supply of, 160 and better.
Yeah, Ted, Brian.
Oh my! But I think that's important to note. I love 160s. I love a lot of antler. It's always been a mystical celebration of the beast. I think the leader of the clans and the leader of our ancestors were always the best hunters. And I'm not the best hunter, but we've never bought chicken, if that's any indication of my backstrap celebration. But I think that a 160 is exciting. It might indicate a good genetics. It might indicate a good management of age groups. But you know what I like? I like whatever deer is in front of me broadside looking the other way at 20 yards. That's my favorite deer in the world.
All right, we're visiting with Ted Nugent. And one of the things, how did you and Bill Jones connect on this project? How did you hear about it? And what did it stir inside you when you heard that somebody was taking the reins up on this and moving the ball forward?
Well, again, Bill Jones, I consider him what I call a spirit blood brother, and I have spirit blood brothers, hunting, fishing, trapping families all across America. In fact, I've been involved in Europe and legalized bow hunting in France years ago. But there's a communication network that have identified the evil of the animal rights movement, the stupidity and clinging to ignorance of the anti-hunting movement, and they have a lot of stupid and ignorant people behind them, and so they've got a lot of resources to compromise hands-on science-based conservation. So guys like Bill Jones and I will connect in every state all across this country, and I got word that the hunting is great in Arkansas, because of a guy like Bill Jones who genuflects at the altar of God's miraculous nature, science-based wildlife management. And whenever there's an opportunity to increase access and family hours of recreation and keep these precious wildlife resources in the asset column, my bow hunting friends like Tim Wells reached out and said, hey, there's this commissioner in Arkansas that really gets it, that's really representing the heart and soul of science-based wildlife management. So we connected, and then recently I was honored beyond description to be inducted into the Outdoor Legends Hall of Fame, both in Michigan and nationwide in Springfield, Missouri. So Bill Jones and his wonderful wife Sherry joined my wife Shemaine and I and my sons, and we connected to celebrate those events. And as I entered into the Outdoor Legends Hall of Fame, which, by the way, I dedicated my induction into the Outdoor Legends Hall of Fame by telling the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to kiss my ass because those goofballs won't induct me because I am a hunter. It's really quite that simple.
Well, one thing you need to do instead of the bow hunting thing is get you a spear, because Bill's one of the people that spearheaded the movement to legalize deer hunting, big game hogs and stuff with spears in Arkansas.
Brian, he's coming down to do a little spear hunting. That's for sure.
All right.
Yeah, that's a perfect example because Bill's a common sense guy. I have a podcast called the Ted Nugent Spirit Campfire on Real America's Voice. And it's no coincidence that our 37-year TV show celebrating hands-on conservation is titled Spirit of the Wild, because there is a spirit to the outdoor community. I think it's the most grounded, down-to-earth, conscientious, environmental movement in the history of our world. Hunting families consider God's miracle as a sacred responsibility to be stewards of these precious resources. So Bill Jones got the real obvious, irrefutable, unambiguous reality that a spear is just a big arrow. It's just a bigger stick with a bigger broadhead. And again, it increases the opportunities for Arkansas families and everybody to hunt.
We're on a hard break here. Really appreciate you joining us tonight, Ted Nugent, and sharing your love of Bayou Bartholomew hunting and all things that we cherish here in Arkansas on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Thanks a lot.
Now open and accepting reservations. Saracen's new 14-story hotel features 318 modern guest rooms and suites, offering luxe accommodations paired with the elevated amenities and the Southern hospitality customers have come to expect from Saracen Casino Resort. And while you're at it, don't skip dinner at Red Oak, recognized as Arkansas's best restaurant for 5 years running. Book your stay with Saracen by visiting SaracenResort.com or calling Saracen today.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
Everybody knows the Brad Hendricks Law Firm is famous for car wrecks, big truck crashes, and medical negligence cases. But they do a lot more than that. They help good people who can benefit from bankruptcy, and they also help older folks who had their Social Security claims denied. When you need a lawyer, call the firm that is Pure Arkansas, where you won't ever be just a number. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Tradition, reputation, results.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 501-600-2763. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 501-600-2763. That's 501-600-2763.
Retirement isn't just, did I save enough? It's inflation, healthcare costs, Social Security timing, the questions nobody warned you about. Gen Wealth Financial Advisors is answering them at Retire on Purpose, a free workshop in Stuttgart with dinner included. Tuesday, August 25th, 6:30 at the Grand Prairie Event Center. Reserve your seats now, 866-653-PLAN. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.
We all make plans for the future, but car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter Agent Becky Bradley in Sherwood, Vic Seidenschwartz in Carlisle, or Todd Matthews in Benton today.
Brian Hendricks loves to take us in and out of the breaks. Fire away, B. Fire away.
All right, we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
How can you top Ted Nugent?
We can top Ted Nugent by going with Bill Jones here of the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission and with the Bayou Bartholomew Watershed Coalition.
And it's a mouthful.
It is. And some of those, I don't know what it is about R's and things like that. They're hard for me to say, but Bartholomew. All right, part of the heritage. But you were talking earlier about the importance, the cultural importance of Bayou Bartholomew and how many communities it touches and all the things. It really has been the lifeblood of that part of the state on into Louisiana for a long time, and it's really pretty much untouched.
Well, and going back, hundreds and hundreds of years, of course, the Quapaws use that as their main branch, because from there you can go down by Bartholomew all the way to the to Ouachita River, Ouachita to Mississippi, and go up and down anywhere you want to go. So the Quapaws used it tremendously. I've read a lot of history about it. Do you know what it was really known for at the early 1800s? Black panthers.
Really?
They killed one black panther that was 13 foot 5 inches there. Mountain lions, black panthers, and bears. One gentleman, early 1800s. In 2 winters, he killed 99 black bears on the Bayou Bartholomew.
You know what you've just done?
What's that?
Oh, they always said there hadn't been Black Panthers in Arkansas, and now you've started it up.
Well, they might have killed the last one down there. But who knows? They're moving through. But
you don't have an ivory-billed woodpecker, do you?
I sure would be nice, wouldn't it?
So,
but, it's just a lot of culture. People baptized there, more people baptized in that water than any other water. And just, hunting, fishing, floating. It's such a beautiful bio. And it's something that, in Arkansas, as a matter of fact, I took my daughter-in-law, which she's not a floater at all, and the two grandsons and my son, and we floated last October, and she got out of the boat and said, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever done.
There is something, it's almost like a cathedral when you get in one of those lowland streams, and it's so slow, and the water is amazingly clear. You got that canopy of trees over above you, and it dapples that light coming in there. And it's almost like, well, diamonds and everything else is just sparkling along there, and it's just peaceful as can be.
And it's interesting you were talking about the clear water because it started by 3 big springs up in Whitehall is where it starts. Just comes right out of the ground right there, and it started. But biodiversity, the fish, when we were floating at wood ducks on every corner, great blue herons. There's a big rookery right there that bird watchers would just have a wonderful time with. As a matter of fact, Carlton with the Saracen came, and I took him down there one time, and we went around this one corner, and this huge blue heron comes up, and he goes, "Did you have that in a cage?" And do that for me. But no, it's amazing, and the heritage of me growing up on the bayou. As a matter of fact, I don't know if we got it in a second, but I've got a great story when I was a kid. So we had a fort on the bayou right behind Southwood School. I lived on 42nd Street, so everybody in that whole area rode bikes, did all sorts of things. We had a fort, and all summer long we wanted to make a raft, Huckberry Finn. We wanted to be like Huckberry Finn. So we cut trees, we drug them over there right to where our area was, and we strapped them together. We did all sorts of things. It was an all summer project. And then we were going to have a launching. Got all the kids around there for our big launching, and we pushed that thing right out into the bow, and it went right to the bottom. Didn't realize you had to let those logs dry for about a year before you pushed them out there, so they were too green to float.
Hey, Blake, they had on life vest.
Yeah, we had a life vest.
Well, now you have to clean that out of there.
I bet when we dredge it, and we're going to go down the whole project, hopefully we'll find it, and I'm going to save that.
We have like a completion date for this, or?
Looking about a year. It's going to be multiple stages. The one stage from Warren Road to Hazel will be the first part. It's pretty much clear the entire way already because myself and my crew have done that ourselves. From Hazel down to Olive Street is going to be the bigger part because we're going to have to use an amphibious backhoe, or not backhoe, but track hoe to clear a lot of that because you get into this marsh area and there's just not real solid banks where you can, take a 60-foot, extend a hoe, and help clean it there. So it'll take maybe 2 years tops in the whole thing. I really would like to see it finished before I get off the Game and Fish, and I've got 2.5 years left. So,
so much is said about all the things being done in Northwest Arkansas with the biking trails and all that going on, and there's some great things going on in Central Arkansas too. It is so refreshing to see that kind of vision and that kind of effort to create an opportunity, like a recreational opportunity like this down in the Southeast.
Yeah, because one day you can float it, the next day you can bike it, and the next day you can walk it and just see all the beautiful wildlife. And we're putting a beautiful trail right next to it, and the biking trail stays right next to the bayou the whole time. So you're seeing and viewing it, and it's not nearly as flat as you think it is, Brian, back there. There's some nice hills and valleys, and like I said, the difference in the hardwood versus the marsh, it's quite experience. There's 2 trails, too, that we're going to link this to. So the long-term Bill Layer Trail, which the coalition did that 30 years ago, and we redone that trail, so you'll be able to hook onto that. Then when you get to Olive, that we're putting in 250 foot of boardwalk for bank fishing there. Then we're going to put a bridge across that's going to hook to Bird Lake, and from there you can bike to the Saracen.
Man, we're going on a biking and canoeing trip. Wow. On Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Bill Jones, thank you for joining us. Blake Sassy, thank you for joining us, talking boat safety, and we will see you next week.
Guys, thank you for making a great show. You folks stay cool out there, and if you're on the waterways, wear your life vest.